Ahoy YouTube! So Ubisoft has updated Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced again. And in this update they have, they have fixed the Ezio cape, added it to be red inside, and they have also fixed the controls. They had a little bug going on where the R2 button would always kind of block off whatever you had the ability inputs set as, which is usually just the face buttons. So people would be having conflicts with parkour when setting sprint to hold R2. This update has fixed that. However, it does now create new conflicts and does take away some of the freedoms that the old system actually brought in. So there's a few ways you could approach a control scheme for this with R2 to sprint, and I'm going to show you a couple ways you could go about that. I'm going to start off with my first control scheme, which is like my main go-to control scheme. This is kind of just the one that I would be using because I find that it has probably just overall the least conflicts and it feels well enough to play. So my first control scheme, so what's different is crouch I set to R1. I set sprint to R2 hold. That's probably going to be consistent across all the control schemes. I have attack on square. I have assassinate on triangle. I have parry on L1 still, dodge on circle, human shield triangle, takedown I have on square, because I find that this breaks the flow of the combat a lot less. Having to press the interact button in the middle of it randomly, like, I don't know, just you press square, you kill the guy. Works. That's how it usually should be. The ability widget I set to L1. This is gonna be something that not everybody is gonna be a big fan of because you will parry before you do your abilities. So if you don't like this, then just skip ahead to the second control scheme. But yeah, this is kind of the way that God of War had it, where you would use the block button, which would, also parry, as also the ability button, so you do like your runic attacks that way. So it feels comfortable, feels familiar to me because I played a lot of those games, and I think it works pretty well. I've set the pistol shot to R2 and the rope dart to R1. I just find this to just feel more intuitive in relation to what the actions are. Last, I have set Eagle Vision to just click L3. So this brings you a little bit of a classic kind of styled control scheme. However, it does create a little bit of a conflict. Like as you just seen there, I did parry before I kicked him. But I mean, the control scheme feels comfortable enough and it works. I usually don't find that the parry gets in the way of what I want to do too much. Like if I want to just throw a quick shot, it just works. If I want a rope dart, I held L1 the whole time. The parry didn't really get in the way. You've seen the parry happen there. I threw the rope dart, didn't really get in the way. But yeah, if you're not a big fan of doing a little parry before whatever your action is, then I'd say this next control scheme would be better for you here. So if you don't like that first control scheme very much, you want your abilities to not be interrupted by the parry. My next suggestion would be to set crouch to L3. Yeah, and then set the ability widget to R1, and then you need to set your Eagle Vision to hold R3 again. And then this way, your abilities will happen without a parry every single time. And you can parry still, and you can crouch still, and that's all fine and dandy, and there's nothing wrong with none of that. And then I suppose if you really like just the normal Black Flag Resync, like modern Assassin's Creed kind of control scheme, but you don't like having L3 as sprint, then you can set R2 as sprint, I have attack on R1 still. I've also set takedown to R1, kind of be consistent with the other control schemes, keeping attack as takedown as well. So I just set ability widget to L1. That's the big change. And then with that, I could also set Eagle Vision to click L3. Or if you don't like having the parry in the way, as shown in the first control scheme, this is gross, but it works. You can set L3 to the ability widget, and it will do the job. It will do everything you need it to. It's a little weird to click the stick and kick and all that jazz, but if I can go find some enemies, I can go show you how that works right now. Yeah, I mean, this does work. What can I say? You hold the stick in, you press the button, it works. It's a little weird, but it works. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish I could go back to my Unity style control scheme because I had a really good thing going on there, and it felt great. Yeah, if I can make one extra request, either in the controls or in the gameplay tab. Yeah, probably in the gameplay tab. Can I see an option that says default movement mode and have a toggle that just swaps between walk and jog? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if we can get just an option in the menu somewhere that lets us have our default movement mode to be just set to walking, it'll help so much with a classic Assassin's Creed feel. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully this video helps somebody else out there. This is going to be the last control scheme video I make for a while. I don't want to milk this too much. I want to try to make some original proper content after this now. Hopefully these videos help you guys out or help somebody out there with achieving a control scheme that is more comfortable to them. That has been all. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night to you complete strangers. Bye-bye.